I was gonna do a garden tour this morning, but as you can see, it's raining, which I'm okay with because it's fantastic for the garden. I'm gonna change up what I'm planting today though. I'm gonna go ahead and show you the ugly side. We always see the pretty side on social media, but I want to show you the things to expect as the heat goes on if you're up north. I'm okay with what's happening right now, and I'll tell you why. All right, my friends. Today we are going to be talking about all the ugly things in the garden. I fully expected all the things that are happening. Nothing shocks me much. I know sometimes new gardeners, they have a little bit of a panic about it, but really it's not a big deal. Everything can be replanted, restarted. It's disappointing sometimes, but you will learn as you go that it's really okay. I'm going to go ahead and share some pictures that I took because it is not raining today, but it is hot as Hades outside right now. So we're going with what I had planned. All right. So here you can see some beautiful, beautiful pictures of the current plant situation. Let me start from the beginning for you. All right. These are our lovely cucumber plants. As you can see, they're just so prosperous. And then you can see our green beans here in the background. I never did plant that middle section. I don't know why. I just did not. There's a couple things going on here. Some of it is our fault. Some of it is just nature. Um, and it's okay. You can technically, depending on where you live, replant your green beans 2 to 3 times and produce crops. It all depends on your temperatures. Here, I can plant 2 to 3 times. I only planted once in this bed. I'm going to tell you what's going on here. Our cucumbers that you can see here have all died. They have a stray 2 or 3 leaves. What happened here is when we built this bed, we filled a lot of the bottom with quail manure. So I knew that they were going to end up being problems here. I think what happened is our cucumber plants got larger. The root systems finally hit that hot manure and it burnt it up. And again, like I said, that's a us issue. I expected it. It's fine. That's all going to break down by the time it's time to plant cucumbers again. We can probably do some more in the fall. If not, we'll do some in the spring. Everything will be good to go. Then here with the green beans, we have a little bit of rust going on. We probably have some over fertilization again from the quail manure in the bottom of the bed. The rust, I don't worry about it too much unless it starts affecting the beans. You can prevent it by spacing out your plants better, which we've always tightly planted our beans. But if you have some extra airflow, that will help with the situation. You can remove the infected plants. You can remove the infected leaves. Just dispose of them. If something is infected with a fungus or a blight or something, I don't put it into the compost. I'll go ahead and throw them. You can even feed them to your chickens, pigs, whatever. Those plant issues won't affect your animals. But I mean, that's probably pretty much it for this bed. Again, I don't worry about it. It's okay. Everything can be replanted. Let's look at our next glorious photo. Our beloved stink bugs. Stink bugs and leaf-footed bugs have both been an issue this year. They're not welcome in our garden, but they do show up. Sometimes we give up and we just let it go. But this year we did decide to treat, even though we don't normally treat anything, we did decide to treat this year with Promethium sprayed directly onto the insects. Now, I won't harvest anything for a few days just to get the chemicals some time to go away. Aaron did spray. He is in charge of spraying whatever we do spray because he's aware of what time bees are in the garden and in flight. So he takes care of that. It seems to have worked. I don't like to spray anything, but it was a desperate move, and sometimes we will spray if we are desperate. The stink bugs and the leaf-footed bugs had taken a very good hold in the garden, and they were ruining my tomatoes. And anybody who knows me knows that I like to make salsa, so they need to go away. And here you can see a lovely zucchini plant. It is just a specimen of beauty. I realized that there were actually zucchini plants all the way around this bed, the whole way around. I did not get one zucchini. That's okay though. I am going to try replanting a bunch of things. I think what I'll do tomorrow is I'll get out in the garden, shoot a little video showing you what all I'm going to be replacing these plants with. So we did have some lack of pollination on the few zucchinis that did start. You can tell that there's lack of pollination whenever they start growing and then they start looking like they're rotting and yellow at one end. That's just lack of pollination. You can often go around that by taking a little paintbrush and pollinating yourself. I don't normally worry about that. My bigger issue this year, as you can see, was the squash vine borers. You can treat with BT. You can spray with neem oil. You can do row covers. I think that may be what we're going to try next year. I think I would like to get row covers for squash and zucchini and see how that does, because we have not tried it. We usually just let nature take its course, but I do normally have some harvest before that happens, and I did not get any this year, which is disappointing because we do like squash and zucchini. I think we only got one patty pan. I'm going to go ahead and replant those. Like I said, you can also, once you see that they've made a hole into your plant, they'll usually do it in the stem area or in these knuckles here. You can inject that BT straight into your plant. I don't go through the trouble of it. I know some people do. I'm not doing it. I'm not. If they get it, they get it. But you can try spraying with BT. You can try wrapping aluminum foil around the stem. Sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some. But, you do what you can in the garden. Sometimes nature wins. These are the patty pan squash. Lovely, joyous sight. You can just see the flourishing plants. This is squash bugs and squash vine borers. You can look for eggs. You can hand pick. That's what we normally do. But this spring has just been so busy that the time to hand pick has just not been there. Normally I would. This year it just didn't happen. You can see I did add some sticks. I did rebury some stems in hopes that we could recover. We did not. So in the end, these are all out, and I will be replanting. Here's another lovely area. This is a rich sweetness melon, from Baker Creek. These have been very prolific little melons. Now, what you see here is not a result of anything other than it being damp outside. Yep. I had to cough a little bit. I've been sitting here. I probably need a drink of water. This is mainly powdery mildew that we see happening here. It's caused by warm and humid conditions. There's really not much you can do. I do know some people will do like a diluted milk spray. We did that before, and I don't find that it really helped much. If you want to thin out your plants, that'll help. You can remove infected leaves if you want to. It really doesn't harm the plant. It won't be the direct cause of your plant dying, but it can slow production, and it can also reduce production. It's not fantastic, but it's also not a killer for your plant. I went ahead and I went and grab some of the little melons off of that plant because I'm obsessed with them. They're so cute. And it is really full of green ones. I do find they taste like a not as sweet cantaloupe, but they're good. I am saving seeds, so seed swaps, here they come. Okay, this is not a great picture. I was trying my best to get a clear picture, but it was drizzling. You can see the tomato plant. It actually has some things going on with the leaf, but you can just trim this. This is not a big deal. Your plants will naturally have older leaves and branches that will die off. I wouldn't consider this blight, which you can get in your tomatoes. We do not have that going on just yet. But what I want you to see is this tomato right here. When it comes to the stink bugs and the leaf-footed bugs, what they will do is they will pierce the fruit itself with their mouth, and they suck out all the good parts, the juices, the liquids, and it'll pretty much take out all the flavor of a tomato. It'll make the texture strange. You'll notice the mini white dots that'll be in your tomato, and they don't taste good after that. So you're better off composting, giving it to your chickens if you have some chickens. Anything. You don't want to eat these, not because they will hurt you, but because they will just really not taste good. Here we have just some older leaves. Like I was saying, sometimes your plant, the older stuff will die. It's normal. It's nothing of concern. But this is still my favorite spot in the garden, and that's probably where I'll do my video tomorrow. Because this area is just magical. It really is. Yeah. And here we have the leaf-footed bug. This is not our friend. We do not want this in our garden. You can pan pick them if you have a little container with some soap and water. You can knock them in there and take care of them that way. If you don't have time, you can spray them with the Promethium like what we did, which has seemed to solve the issue for now. We keep going out there and check, and they haven't come back yet. But let me show you a little video of another suggestion that I read about. I believe it was last year. And it just so happened we have a hand vacuum this year, so I tried it. I wouldn't say it worked wonderfully, but I mean it did get some of them. Let me pull that. So yes, I was out in the garden with the handheld vacuum cleaner trying to suck up all the stink bugs and the leaf-footed bugs, but every time that you see someone's garden on social media, just know that you're not always seeing the bad parts. Normally, everyone shows their best parts. That's not realistic. You are going to have some gnarly things happening, and that's okay. All right, guys, that's about it for this video. I just wanted to show you some realistic things that are happening and let you know that my gardening is not perfect, and sometimes it's really ugly. You have a good day, and I'll see y'all tomorrow with a list of things I'm replanting in the garden.